What up, community of restoration and enlightenment? That's you. Hey, sis. We are all coming up together, restoring ourselves to our natural state of being. You came here knowing what you need to know. We're just reminding you of it. So let's do it. We are here. You can join us at the CORE of letter U, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And we just want to vibe off of one another. Talking today about how good are you at celebrating yourself?
That's a great one. That's a great one. How good are you at celebrating you? We don't want to, obviously we don't want to mix it up or mistake it with being conceited or obviously overconfident or, people kind of get a little crazy sometimes with it. But we think that it is imperative to a healthy state of mind that you celebrate you. Even if nobody else does, you always should be mindful of those people who don't clap for you when things go good. Absolutely. We say that often, right?
Right.
Always look around the room when you do something and those of you those of them that claim to be your friends and loved ones and people that celebrate you when they're not clapping for you, right? They're kind of sitting like this, mean mugging you or side-eyeing you. But in spite of whether they do it or whether they do not, it is important that you celebrate you.
And what does that look like? Does that look like calling up friends and saying this what happened today, or just being present in the state? Because I think that's the first part of it.
Absolutely.
I have found myself sometimes running past a moment, not realizing, wait a minute, this is something that I actually manifested or prayed for to happen. Let me be present that is actually happening right now. And,
I like that.
Sometimes it's hard to share. We're also busy. Take a moment to share and call people or let them know. I don't do it a lot. I'll say I have to almost force myself to do it about our daughter with her accomplishments or Kenny with theirs. Sometimes I've tried to. Because people say, well, why didn't you tell me? And I'll be like, you know what? I didn't even think to do it, right. Or I'll hold it back because I'll be like, maybe nobody want to hear about that right now.
Right.
That's one of my push-pulls with social media, because sometimes it feels like it's a big celebration fest on here.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to stop and do that and post, but maybe that is a healthy thing. Is that what social media is about?
So, for some people it is celebrating the you, whether, like on IG, you see men and women, you see, just people lose weight, and that's a big thing. And so then they're celebrated and they're like, hey, new me, you know what I mean? Yeah. I did it. I was depressed. I was down. I was feeling this way. I lost weight. I did that, and I did it a healthy way. And I feel good I even feel good. And I'm even celebrating the process because I really worked hard, and there were days that I wanted to give up, but I was able to overcome and make it. And so they celebrate that. That's awesome. Maybe there was something that you had went through in your past where it was a lack of or low self-esteem. So now you're at a place now where I seen somebody the other day. It was a female. She posted. It was like a workout thing, and she was like, the old me wouldn't have never posted this video. She was like, but I'm posting this because the confidence I have now, I got to celebrate this, and so that's what it was. She was like, I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to say I look better than anybody. I'm really doing this to celebrate this up level of confidence, because obviously, and I didn't get into her whole story. Obviously, it was a deficiency of hers, So, I think things like that are good. I have no problem. We raise our children with trying to, the best we can, celebrate the big moments just as well as the little moments. And we try to celebrate each other. And then at the same time, we like to also celebrate ourselves. I think it's because what's funny is people and the world, and if you get caught up in social media and some of the things, so many people are quick to point out your flaws and the negative and the things that's not right. But what about the things that are going good? What about the things that are going great?
I'm glad you raised that, because if for my doctors of psychology out there, or those that are studiers of the mind, your psyche will tend to go to the negative when you are stimulated. So, for instance, when people are scrolling through visually looking at things, this is really proven with social media. That's why they call it such a thing as social media depression. People will scroll through, they'll look at all the wonderful things that are being posted, but the mind will sometimes go to the negative about, well, wait, what's good in my life? So it's really good to celebrate yourself, because an unchecked mind will unknowingly go to the negative.
That's
crazy.
So
you have to train yourself to
like a moth to a flame, huh? You got
to train yourself to see the positive, think the positive, stay in the positive, so that's your default.
Wow.
Versus, the stimulus that can come in if you don't know what's happening.
So we just want to make sure that you understand there's kind of I won't say negative, there's an unhealthy way to celebrate yourself where you start to put others down and be rude or kind of become a bully. And then there's a healthy way. There's a healthy way to celebrate self. Even if it's you, whatever it is that you do. I don't know if it's a great accomplishment. Maybe you want to get you just a glass of wine and say, hey, I did this. I'm going to toast me. Maybe you want to buy you a new outfit. Maybe you just want to just celebrate and say, hey, this is awesome. I'm up leveling. I'm going to the next level. Maybe you want to purchase something. I don't know. Anything that you do, whatever it is that you do to celebrate you, to be able to really, just really be present and kind of make sure that you really give credence to that moment. And don't just let it just, fly by. Celebrate the, where you were. Celebrate the process of overcoming it. Celebrate the struggles. Celebrate your setbacks, and you were able to come back. And then finally the victory, getting to where you want to be. And even if you're not there, I've seen people do that. And one of the big things is weight. I get weight loss, so I'll keep using that. But right,
for me, I'm sleep. Getting enough sleep.
Celebrate it.
When we get to have a moment like, got the kids down. Oh, I did it. I stayed on schedule.
There it is. Celebrating that. Yeah,
whatever it is.
Unfortunately, I'm a little bit of a procrastinator, so I like to celebrate when I get it done. And I like to say, when I get it done, when it's done right and on time, quick, way before a set deadline, I like to celebrate those moments and say, hey, I didn't procrastinate. I did it. I got it done. And guess what? I did it at a high level. I didn't just, it wasn't just a hodgepodge. I didn't just throw it in there because I had to. I really was present, took the time to say, hey, you know what, man, I enjoy doing this.
Showing up for people, even if you're tired, don't run past all that you give. Just celebrate yourself. I make my little to-do list, effective habits of highly successful people. I like to physically cross it off because it gives me gratification to just look and be like, oh, look what I did today. I got it done.
That's interesting because I went and did a little light grocery shopping tonight, and you sent the list of, so I had the kids. So I had my son who's 5 years old. I pulled it up and I was able to have him cross it off. So every time we found the next item on the list, he crossed it off with this little blue, marker on there. And it was like, okay. And it was exciting because as more lines came, we were getting to the end. And we're like, oh, we did this, and he was like, I'm just like, well, we just kind of getting a few groceries. He was really excited. We did it. He was happy. That's how you need to be. You really need to, as you cross those to-do things off, as you are able to overcome obstacles, as you're able to up-level yourself. Maybe it's a whole change of attitude. Maybe it's just a change of perspective. You don't really change your attitude. You just change the way you look at the certain set of circumstances you have. You should celebrate that, especially if you can go from an unhealthy place to a healthy place. You need to celebrate that. Cousin Robin said, I like to celebrate victory moments. However, I am starting to celebrate more privately in my own way in our home because everyone does not need to know about every achievement. And I think that's kind of the balance of social media. But folks be celebrating. They put breakfast on there, lunch and dinner, and you be like, huh?
What I love about what Robin is sharing is that is as long as you make sure you celebrate, and you should get as much gratification celebrating you in private as you do in public. Because really, it's about your personal journey.
Like that. And I guess that's what this is about today. Let's say if nobody else celebrates you, you should be able to celebrate you. And you should not be made to feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know, you should, as you said, you should be able to get great joy out of that.
Yeah, because, you know, and that's something to work on, because there is something to doing it and getting somewhere and accomplishing something and feeling alone in that. But it's a difference between loneliness and doing something alone and then self-gratification.
I like that.
So
I like that.
There is a maturity level of being like, this one was for me. Like for my writers or my people who do sermons or my people who public speak. Sometimes you might prepare something and it never sees the light of day because that one was for you.
I like
You'll
that.
be like,
Absolutely.
I'm just celebrating that this is in my awareness.
Yeah. This message helped me up level. It wasn't meant for me to speak this to the masses. This was for me. Absolutely. And I agree, and I think it's so important. I think it's so important that we just make sure you have a healthy and a positive way to celebrate yourself, and make sure that you're intentional about it, whether it's small, medium, or grandiose. We were driving home today, and we got some things going on in our lives, and I just said, B, you remember, you know, hey, look at this, look at what we're doing. This is awesome. People of our age, people of our, you know, skin color and hue don't get to do this. Look at what we're doing.
I'm glad you made me present to that.
And the reason why I did it was because I had a moment today where I was like, this is pretty awesome. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you celebrate you, man. I mean, I guess just in the most simplest of forms.
And I really want you guys to be present to that, because we are still in a low level of constant stress dealing with all that we're dealing with. Absolutely. Inflation, you know, high prices, everything's in demand. You know, everyone that I know in professional and self-employed, they're doing more with less employees, less time. People are resigning, got to take over their work. And then trying to just stay healthy. Do I get the booster? Don't I? Is it the time? You know, it's like we're dealing with so much more in this year than even a year ago, 2 years ago, because it's layered. So it's so important to grab those moments and be present when you're having a victory, when you're achieving, because everything you're achieving is compounded. You're doing it against all of that spiritual and emotional weight that's around us that we're still pushing through. So be patient, be loving, and be celebratory of you, and it'll allow you to do that for others.
And as wifey often, as she said before, which I love when she said this, it is a blessing. It is one of the greatest feelings in the world when your prayers meet you in the future. The things that you prayed about in the past, you sitting there looking at the answer, the result. You know what I mean? And you're like, wow, I prayed about this 5, 10, 20, 15 years ago, yesterday. And it didn't happen yesterday, but it happened today. That is a time and a place for you to celebrate that you got the things that you prayed for. You got whatever your petition was to the Father, to the universe, to God, but however you pray, however you do what you do, you put it out there. The universe said, you are worthy enough to receive what you put out. Here you go. Now what you gonna do with it? You need to celebrate that. You definitely need to celebrate that. And I guess that's our message for today, for this Friday
community
convo, Core View Friday convo.
Continue to share your ideas with us so we can bring them back to the community. Post if you like what we're saying. Communicate with us. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. Robin, LaWanda, I saw a few people, Inco, I saw Lauren, I saw a lot of Kelly in the community. Y'all just keep
Layman, I saw Layman in the house. That's what's up.
Yeah, let's just keep vibing. Richard, right?
Yeah, Richard.
We are the Community of Restoration and Enlightenment. Join us at the COREOF letter U, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And as always, we greet you with peace, and we hope and pray that we leave you with peace. Peace in your heart, peace in your home, and peace in your life. All right? Peace.